Hi, and welcome to virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com with a phenomenal viewer question, which is, why are instruments in different keys? You've heard of clarinet in B flat, and saxophone in E flat, and French horn in F. What's the story? Why would they pitch them in different keys? Wouldn't it make more sense to rewrite the music in concert pitch? Well, believe it or not, it makes more sense to have instruments in different keys. And let me explain why. For example, in the family of saxophones, there are different saxophones that are pitched differently, yet they all have the same fingering patterns, essentially. So a saxophone player going from instrument to instrument, if they had to call notes different things, it would be incredibly confusing to them. So instead, they play in E flat, and it's what's called a transposing instrument, meaning when a saxophone in E flat plays their C, it sounds E flat on a piano or concert pitch. This is why a conductor looking at a score has to be able to transpose all the parts, because an orchestral score is written in concert pitch, is not written in concert pitch. So if a conductor is looking at horn in F and there's a B flat written, he has to be able to translate that to E flat instantly in his head so he knows the pitches of all the different instruments. But for instrumentalists, it's much easier because you just play in the key it's written and it sounds in the proper pitch for the group. Now, there are some instrumentalists who have to transpose. I'm also a French hornist, and French horn parts, because of tradition, are actually found in many different keys. Even though the horn is actually an F instrument, you will come upon parts that are horn in D, or horn in C, or horn in E flat, and you have to transpose. Now, why is this? Well, years ago, the horn didn't have valves, so the composers wrote the parts in all the different keys, and the horn player would take a series of crooks, these are additional pipes, to pitch the horn into the proper key for that piece or a movement of a piece. And because the parts were written that way by Mozart and Beethoven and Brahms and others, we still, as horn players, have to transpose the parts even though our horn is in F. So that's an interesting point. And this is true of some other instruments, but French hornists in particular must learn how to transpose. Fortunately, the parts are all written in C, so it's not as difficult as you might think. So that's a great question. I keep the questions coming in, and I'm so glad to bring you these videos. I'm Robert Estrin here at virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com. Thanks for joining me.